A white band clearly divides the land and the blue sky. This is the Mongolian capital of Ulaanbaatar. The white band is smog. The smog spreads out like a blanket over the city. Driving into town is like heading into a cloud of smoke. For the past 5 years, Ulaanbaatar has been struggling with some of the world's worst air pollution. People are developing serious health problems. More and more children have asthma and other respiratory conditions.
Сурталчилсан шалтгааны нэгдүгээрт ч гэсэн ер нь уушгины хатгалаа буюу уушгины өрөвсөл, цочмог өрөвсөл.
Ulaanbaatar is extremely cold. In winter, the average temperature drops below -20 degrees Celsius. People use stoves to keep warm. The smoke is a major cause of air pollution. City authorities are now trying to improve the quality of the air.
Шинэ бүрэн шалгалттай сайжруулсан зуухыг сольж авснаар 92% бодит хөнгөлөлт идэв.
The city hopes to eliminate air pollution by having residents replace their old smoky stoves with new clean-burning ones. On this episode of Asia Insight, we look at how people are trying to bring clear skies back to Ulaanbaatar. Mongolia is rich in resources. Its reserves of gold, copper, and coal are among the world's largest. Mining development has spurred rapid growth. The country's economy expanded by more than 17% in 2011, the fastest rate in the world. Ulaanbaatar now has stores selling luxury brands. Per capita GDP has doubled in just 3 years. Many deluxe condominiums are going up. But Ulaanbaatar's growth has brought a major problem: air pollution. When the smog is at its thickest, it's impossible to see 20 meters ahead. Driving becomes dangerous, slowing down traffic. Newly fallen snow is covered with black specks. It's due to the high volume of smog in the air. The airborne particles quickly coat parked cars. Data released by the World Health Organization in 2011 showed Ulaanbaatar had the worst concentration of airborne pollutants in the world. Beijing is also fighting air pollution, but levels were twice as bad in Ulaanbaatar.
Өглөөрөөс амьсгалж болохгүй 5 цагаас хойш өдрөөс гэрээсээ гарч болохгүй. Ингээд одоо хөгшин бие өдрөөс хамааран битрүүрээд хоолоо морсол. Тэгээ ханад яж хат найнууд зулаар ханиалахар чээж авсан.
There are a number of reasons for the pollution. One is exhaust from a never-increasing number of vehicles on the roads. Another is smoke emitted by coal-fired power stations. But the biggest culprit is found in the so-called Gur district, where the city's poorer residents live. Smoke from homes using coal-burning stoves and boilers are responsible for 60% of all air pollution. The Gur district spreads out to the city's north and is home to 180,000 households. 10,000 additional households appear every year. Many residents are former nomads who've moved from the country in search of work. Begsuden was a nomad until he moved to the Gur district 13 years ago. Over the past decade, heavy snowfall in the Mongolian countryside has killed a lot of livestock. Begsuden lost his entire herd. Even after moving to the city, he's had difficulty finding stable employment. He uses an old stove manufactured in the Soviet Union back when Mongolia was a socialist state. The stoves were designed to burn firewood or animal dung. These days, most people use coal. The stoves are not made for coal, so combustion is incomplete. That produces a huge volume of soot and other airborne pollutants. The old stoves are the main cause of air pollution in the capital. This is Eshunbayar, who lives in the Gur district, and his son, Borantashka. Once every 5 days, they go out to buy the coal they need for their stove. Mongolian mines produce large quantities of coal, and prices are cheap. A 40-kilogram bag costs only about $2, but it'll last just 2 or 3 days. Eshunbayar also needs to buy firewood to light the stove. His monthly heating expenses come to around $60. He has a wife and 2 children. His mother also lives with them. When Mongolia started developing a market economy in the 1990s, the family moved to cheap housing in the Gur district. Like other residents, they use a stove based on old Soviet models. Temperatures in Ulaanbaatar fall well below zero starting in September. People must heat their homes for more than half the year. They also use stoves to boil water and cook. A single household consumes roughly 3 tons of coal every year. Annual coal usage in the Gur district works out to around 500,000 tons. Burning so much coal is compromising the air quality. The Gur district lies to the north of Ulaanbaatar. Northerly winds blow smog from the district into the city center. The city itself sits in a depression with little wind. Air lingers in the sky, making the problem worse. Local officials have been measuring air pollution at 10 locations around the city.
Энэ одоо ингэж гэр хоолч ингэ дараар ингэ хүрээлцсэн байгаа шүү дээ. За энэ одоо ингэ салхи хойноос үйж. Тэгэхээр тэр цаатлын хэсгээс ингэ нааш салхилах тохиолдол одоо яг энэ утаатай юм чи нааш энэ дээж хоолонд тэр нэг дээж хоолонд орно шүү дээ.
One way to determine how hazardous air pollution is to human health is to measure the volume of tiny particles known as PM 2.5. The World Health Organization's limit is 25 micrograms per cubic meter.
Германаас бэлгийн хуучин ашиглаж байсан гэнэ нэр гэсэн. PM 2.5 одоо 124 микрограмм бай тээ.
The measurement is 5 times higher than the WHO's recommended level. From October to March, PM 2.5 levels in Ulaanbaatar continually surpass the limit. At worst, the readings exceed the threshold by 30 times. The deteriorating air quality is having a worrying effect on children's health.
Ашиг юм ангид орж ирээд ингээ хацон хаалгаа онгоод нөхөд аягүй утаа орж ирдэг. Хүүхдүүдээ цэвэр агаараар амьсгална гэсэн энэ одоо бол үнслээ аягүй баг байдаг.
The teacher can't open the windows. If one student catches a cold, it soon spreads to other children. Boran Tashaka, Ishun Bayer's son, has asthma. He has struggled with the condition for several years. The air pollution is at its worst in winter, and he often gets sick. Last night, he coughed so much he couldn't sleep.
Хэрвээ тэр болгоо очих юм бол бид чинь 7 хоногт нэг удаа очиод байна гэсэн. Тэгээ гайг болох.
Boran Tashaka's mother is taking her son to the doctor. It's his first visit in a month. This private clinic specializes in treating asthma and other allergy-related conditions. On school holidays, the queue to see the doctor can stretch past the waiting room.
Астмынхаа эмчилгээг хийх, эмчээсээ зөвлөгөө авах хэрэгтэй учраас ирээд эмчилгээ хийх гэж байна. Анхныхаа ханиадыг үзүүлэх гэж байна. Өчтөрөөс ингээд мөсөн боожол тий ханиалгал. Өөр нь аль бохирдлоос аанам бохирдол.
According to a survey by the Ministry of Health, the number of children with asthma in the country has increased by 60% over the past 5 years. The disease is striking younger children. Some contract asthma before the age of 1. It's Boran Tashaka's turn to see the doctor. Children being treated for asthma must regularly take medication. But for economic reasons, many parents in the Gur district take their children to the doctor only after their symptoms worsen. Boran Tashka's parents are unable to afford regular treatment. He suffers from asthma every winter. The Mongolian government is beginning to address air pollution as an urgent problem and has launched the Ulaanbaatar Clean Air Project. On this day, officials hold an event at Narantul, Ulaanbaatar's largest market.